Macklemore also sent a text to Kendrick Lamar apologizing further, shared that on Instagram. This is what he said. "You got robbed. I wanted you to win. You should have. It's weird and sucks that I robbed you. I was gonna say that during the speech. Then the music started playing during my speech and I froze. Anyway, you know what it is."
Did you ever feel any way about him posting the text message or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it was uncalled for, to be 100 with you.
Back in 2013, there was almost no duo as big or as relevant to the mainstream music scene as Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Their debut studio album, The Heist, took over the radio in what was practically a perfect storm for the two. Especially with the tides of what made popular music popular shifting, the future seemed bright for the duo. However, after winning big in the 2013 Grammys, everything took a turn for the worse. But to understand what I mean, let's take it back to like a decade ago. In the late 2000s, going into the early parts of the 2010s, most pop music sounded like the world was a big party. It was all about having fun and models and party. It was the best night ever lived. To explain how we got here would take more time than like I have, so just know for now, Flo Rida and Pitbull were those guys, and for the most part, carefree music ruled the airwaves. While club music was going crazy in the pop charts, in the background of it all, there was a counterculture going on. If you were observant, artists like The Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, Fun, were all developing some crazy sounds, and by crazy I mean like slower paced songs. Don't get me wrong, they were still about like partying and stuff, but at least they were like different sounding, you know? It showed that this alternative to this party scene going on was maybe achievable, but for the most part, yeah, your song still had to be about partying to like sharp. At least until 2012, cause you know, shout out to Gaudier. But towards the end of 2012, there were two guys that were willing to show the mainstream pop world that different could sometimes mean good.
What?
Hip-hop duo Macklemore and Ryan Lewis hit the charts like a comet invasion, taking over the pop charts for at least a couple of months with their breakout hit, Thrift Shop.
I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
It's still about partying in a sense, or at least being in the club at times, but hey, what makes it different is how they party.
One man's trash, that's another man's come up. Thank your granddad for donating that plaid button.
Thrifting clothes is kind of like cool now, so I guess like this song isn't as weird as when it came out, but you know, at least they were first to the trend, I guess.
I'll wear your granddad's clothes, I look incredible.
It's a fun song, and it's not just fun because it tells you that it's fun. It's fun because you feel it. You hear it. Shout out to Ryan Lewis on the production. Macklemore sounds like he isn't trying, and it works better that way, because this song can get pretentious if you remove the comedy from it. The more laid back a Macklemore song is, the better like it sounds, so that's I think why it works. Personally, at least. The song topped the charts over established artists like Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake, Bruno Mars, Taylor Swift. There's some other people, probably. Above all else, what the song did was that it established Macklemore and Ryan Lewis as people that could maybe be taken seriously, and seriously, they were taken.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night.
Can't Hold Us also topped the charts, but I just bring it up because Ray Dalton did a great job with the hook, bro.
So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
But yeah, with the success of Thrift Shop followed the success of many of the songs found on The Heist, which made the record more successful than it honestly should have been. Again, the record showed a lot of promise for the careers of Macklemore and Ryan Lewis and what that could be in the future. However, one thing I've avoided kind of talking about is that they're a rap producer duo. Now, what that really means is that it is very important how they're viewed in hip-hop. Surprisingly though, it was mainly positive amongst peers, at least until the 2013 Grammys. It should have been a cool night. I mean, they were performing live with Madonna. The duo was up for a lot of awards, including Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best New Artist, and Best Rap Album. And the duo took almost all of them home. However, there was one nomination that in hindsight, and even in the moment, they had no business taking home, and that was Best Rap Album. Apart from Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, the nominees were Drake with Nothing Was the Same, Jay-Z with Magna Carta, Holy Grail, Kanye with Jesus, and the favorite to win the award, Kendrick Lamar with Good Kid, Mad City.
Why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots.
Good Kid, Mad City being one of the greatest hip-hop records of the entire decade, and probably of hip-hop history if you ask me. The record established Kendrick Lamar as an up-and-coming young MC and the rapper that the torch was bestowed upon from all the hip-hop legends, ranging from Dr. Dre to Snoop Dogg to Eminem to basically any hip-hop legend that was alive at the time.
I can feel the changes. I can feel a new life. I always knew life can be dangerous.
The story of the record is told through the tracks themselves, of course, but also these skits that come along and forward the plot, providing context for who the characters are and what the whole point of the story is. And despite the complexity of everything that I just said, the record was largely successful on the commercial side.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit.
It had all the tools you can want for an album that's going to win at the Grammys, and on top of that, Kendrick Lamar seemed like the type of artist that the Grammys would love, so him winning was simple. Or it should have been simple, because the award actually went to Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Okay, so Macklemore and Ryan Lewis take home the award, and people were not having it. Now, it wasn't on Macklemore that the Grammys are pretty bad at picking who's the rightful winner, but he kinda didn't do a lot for himself. He decided to text Kendrick Lamar saying it sucks that I robbed you and talking about how he was going to bring it up on the speech, but then he froze up and he forgot. And it just feels like such a pick-me attitude type thing to do, especially because then he posted it online for everybody to see, and everybody from Drake to Kendrick Lamar turned on him.
When he sent it to me, I was like, okay, you know, I could see him feeling that type of way because he a good dude, but I think for confirmation from the world, you know, he probably felt like he had to put it out there, which he didn't need to do. He didn't need to do, but I don't take nothing away from him anyway because I know where his heart is at. He cool. He a cool dude, but you know, sometimes the card folds like that when you...
Macklemore has, relatively speaking, had a lot of success. However, when we think about what he was projected to be after that first album, yeah, his career just took a nosedive. Especially after Ryan Lewis stepped away and Mac went on to his solo career. Because nowadays, nobody really brings up Macklemore. At least not in a positive light anyways. He's just kind of remembered as a gimmick or as a conversation piece in the talk of the gentrification of hip-hop.
Same thing that my nigga Elvis did with rock and roll. Justin Timberlake, Eminem, and Macklemore.
Which kind of sucks because the dude didn't do anything that was that bad. But I guess his music on the solo side of things didn't help either. We can't all be winners. So, GG's. Anyways, that was a fun video to do. I gotta go to sleep though. So good night and shout out to J Dilla.